Have you ever just stopped and looked around? I mean, really looked at your car, your phone, even the logos you see every day. It feels like everything is slowly but surely losing its sharp edges. So let's get into it. This simple but kind of weird observation. Why is our whole world getting rounder?
Okay, just think about cars for a second. The designs from a few decades back were so boxy, right? Almost like they were chiseled out of a big block of metal. Now, fast forward to today. Modern cars are all about these smooth, flowing lines and soft, rounded bodies. I mean, the difference is night and day. And it is absolutely not just cars. Look at the phone in your pocket. We went from these hard plastic bricks with sharp, pointy corners to these super sleek devices with gentle curves that just melt into your hand. Every single corner has been smoothed away. This trend even bleeds over into the digital world, which is wild. Company logos used to be all about these hard, geometric, almost aggressive shapes. Now, brands are all going for softer, more organic, more approachable looks. The sharp edges are vanishing from basically everywhere. So what is going on here? Is this just some random design trend that everyone's jumping on? A massive coincidence? Or is it pointing to something way, way deeper? Something fundamental about physics, our own psychology, and maybe even the entire story of civilization? To really get to the bottom of this, we have to start with the biggest rules in the book, the laws of the universe. So let's check out the physicist's answer. And it really all comes down to what you might call nature's default setting. I mean, just look at the universe. From the absolutely massive to the microscopic. Water droplets, when they fall, pull themselves into perfect little spheres. Planets and stars are gigantic balls of matter. Even the cells inside your body are basically round. And if you give it enough time, nature will grind any sharp rock down into a smooth, rounded stone. The universe definitely has a type. But why? Well, nature isn't just picking a favorite shape because it looks nice. A round shape is, simply put, the most efficient form there is. It spreads out energy and stress perfectly evenly, so there are no weak spots. It offers up the least possible resistance to anything trying to push against it. This isn't a design choice, it's just pure, hardcore physical optimization. So it all kind of boils down to this one simple idea. Roundness is nature's least friction solution. It is the path of least resistance, and that rule governs everything from a single drop of rain to an entire galaxy. Okay, that makes perfect sense for a car moving through the air, right? But what about a logo on a screen? It's not battling wind resistance. And this brings up a really fascinating question. Is all this just about physical friction, like air and water? Or is there another kind of friction, a more human kind of friction that we're trying to reduce? And that leads us right into our own heads. Let's talk about the psychologist's answer. It turns out our brains are basically hardwired with a kind of internal safety switch that is deeply, deeply connected to the shapes we see around us. See, on a really deep subconscious level, our brains run a very simple program. Sharp corners and points signal a threat. Think about it. Teeth, claws, the tip of a spear, it means danger. Round shapes, on the other hand, well, they feel safe. They feel friendly, trustworthy. It's a primal instinct you can't just turn off. So modern design isn't just about reducing friction with the air. It's about reducing friction with us. By smoothing out all those edges, objects just feel more accessible. They feel less aggressive, less intimidating. They become truly user-friendly for our ancient, instinct-driven brains. And there's another cool psychological trick at play here that explains why we're so drawn to these newer, rounder designs. It's called novelty bias. Our brains are literally wired to pay more attention to and put more value on things that are new. Why? Well, for our ancestors, new information meant a better understanding of the world, which meant more control and ultimately more safety. So we instinctively feel that new is better. All right, let's zoom out, way out, and look at this whole thing from a historical view. This big shift from sharp to round isn't just about our stuff. it kind of tells the story of our entire civilization. It's a journey from defense to harmony.
In ancient times and through the Middle Ages, our buildings were hard, thick, and defensive. Think of a medieval castle with all its sharp, imposing angles. The world was a dangerous place, and our designs screamed survival. But as our civilization advanced, as we gained a greater sense of safety and control, our architecture started to relax. It became softer, more open, more fluid.
You see, our designs are like a mirror. They reflect our collective state of mind. We've slowly but surely shifted from a design language built on hardness and sheer survival to one that speaks of harmony, confidence, and flow.
And this leads to a really powerful idea. You know how a river constantly tumbles a sharp rock until it becomes a smooth pebble? Well, maybe the passage of time is doing the exact same thing to us, to our civilization. In a way, roundness is the mark left by time.
So, we've heard from the physicist, the psychologist, and the historian, and it all seems to fit together pretty neatly. But this brings us to one final, huge question that kind of challenges this whole thing. What does modern even mean?
No, really, think about it. When we call something modern, are we talking about a real physical quality that the object actually possesses? Or is modern just a label, a perception that only exists in our minds, right here, right now?
I mean, consider this. The car that was the absolute peak of modern design back in 1985 is now seen as a classic, or, let's be honest, just outdated. This proves that modernity isn't a permanent feature of a thing. It's just a perception, and it's always shifting.
Which leads us to the real final question here. What truly makes something modern? Is it something actually baked into the design itself? The lines, the materials, the roundness? Or is the magic ingredient simply the moment in time that we happen to be looking at it?
So I want to leave you with this one last thought to chew on. After all of this, the physics, the psychology, the history of roundness, maybe the answer is way simpler than we thought. Could it be that what we call modern isn't really a style at all, but is simply the name we give to whatever it is we haven't gotten used to yet?